What's good, y'all? It's your boy HB with Final Round and Drive Time Boxing. Say what's up to my girl 90. She's a cutie. Yeah, she is. But it's pretty dope. She's got two different colored eyes. One's blue and one's brown. But she's a sweetheart, man. She's a troublemaker, but she's a sweetheart. But anyways, man, I'm hearing rumors that Jake Paul wants to take on Tommy Fury. And look, I don't know what Jake Paul's angle is at the end of the day. I don't know if he's really trying to do this boxing thing or if he's just trying to get a really fucking ridiculous payday, or maybe it's a combination of both. I tend to think it's a combination of both. But, you know, I've been really impressed with the guy, man. You know, a lot of people have been hating on me. I've been all over YouTube commenting on different videos, and a lot of people have been, you know, almost like they're offended that I'm saying Jake Paul is a decent boxer and he has some skills. I understand people don't like the guy, but that doesn't, you know, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be objective and judge him based off of his abilities. The kid has some skills. I'm not saying he's, you know, going to be the cruiserweight champion of the world, but he does have some boxing ability, and if you don't have any ability, he's going to beat you. And furthermore, he does have power. I do think he has a heavy right hand and a good left and a solid left hook, but he's got some power, man. And he, you know, you can tell he's one of those kind of farm bred boys. I'm not saying he's a fucking farmer, but you know, he looks thick, man. He looks like he can put some fucking weight behind his punches. But ultimately, you know, I'm looking at this possible fight, if it's true. It is brilliant because I do think he demanded, like, hey, if we're going to do this, like, I want Tyson Fury on the card as well. And that financially is obviously a brilliant move, because obviously this is going to be a huge fight if he takes on Tommy Fury. Everybody's going to tune in. And then if you can get Tyson Fury on the card as well, you know he's going to match up against probably another big name fighter, maybe a rematch with Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua, depending on what happens with the first fight. And then, I mean, you have, you know, maybe Ruiz. I mean, there's a lot of different options for Tyson Fury. So you're going to bring a lot of big names to this card. It's going to be a big event. It's going to be a lot more professional, I imagine, than the fucking Triller broadcast, which was absolutely out of hand. But ultimately, how do I see this? I don't like it, man. Like, if Jake Paul wants to keep milking this cow and he kind of wants to build himself up into a legitimate high-level boxer, this is too soon, man. I do not want to see him go up against Tommy Fury. I think Tommy Fury is, obviously, it's still within his realm, right? I think Jake Paul can still be competitive somewhat, but I think he loses this fight. And I think Tommy Fury's a little bit more experienced. He's not heavily experienced, but he's got some experience. He's got boxing lineage in his blood. We all know of the Gypsy King. And then on top of that, stylistically, I don't think it makes sense for Jake. I mean, Tommy Fury's, yeah, they're probably roughly around the same size, but Tommy Fury looks rangy. He looks like a very skilled boxer from what I see in his highlights and his training. Seems like he's got speed, he can move. And I just imagine him getting in that fight with Jake Paul and Tommy Fury just jabbing his fucking face off. He's going to be able to evade that big right hand, and he's going to turn it into a fucking boxing match that we still have not truly seen Jake Paul up against, but or see Jake Paul really get the display of skills against another good boxer. So yeah, man, I've been a fan of what Jake's been doing. I didn't really know who he was before he started doing this YouTube boxing, but I'm definitely a fan because I see he's taking it seriously. He's working hard. He's putting in the time, the effort. You know, you see him sparring and he's putting up results in his fights, but man, they have to be very, very fucking careful of taking this fight. I think it's very dangerous. And if he does take it, look, kudos to him, props to him, because it's a ballsy move. It's a really ballsy move. And if he's taking this fight, he must be truly trying to show the world he can fucking, like, legitimately box. See, he might need a quick turnover because the Ben Askren fight was so easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't, I don't even think he came out with any damage. Got a first round TKO, and yeah, so why not have a quick turnaround? I mean, you've been working your ass off and you put this dude out in the first round, no damage to you. Yeah, you might want a quick turnaround and take another fight. You already went through a training camp. I mean, why not stay hot at the moment? But if you're going to do that, man, like, don't jump from fucking Ben Askren to Tommy Fury. Like, I want to see him maybe take on another MMA fighter, if you're going to do a quick turnover, who's a step above from Ben Askren. Look, I'm not sure about Dillon Danis. I don't know how... I haven't seen enough of him to judge what he could possibly do in a boxing ring. But I did see a few clips. I think he is slightly a step above Ben Askren in terms of striking. So, you know, if you're going to have a quick turnover, if you're Jake Paul, try to get Dillon Danis. Obviously, Dillon Danis is now seeing, like, man, I can make a lot of money taking this fucking boxing match. You know, you can probably get him in the fucking ring. And, you know, he's a little bit better than fucking Ben Askren. And let's see, you know, and Dillon Danis has more fucking footage of Jake Paul and what he can do. So I think Dillon Danis will come in a lot more prepared probably than fucking Ben Askren did. And he's going to be aware of that right hand. And let's see what Jake Paul does with that. I still think Jake Paul will win that fight. But I think we'll get to see him display more of what he can do. And that will give us a better idea if this guy can legitimately start climbing up and facing, like, legitimate boxers. And I wouldn't be mad at a Conor McGregor matchup. Either after Dillon Danis or right now. I would love to see him go up against Conor McGregor. I think that would be a very fascinating matchup, because from what I saw in Conor McGregor against Mayweather, I do think that fucking Jake Paul could be an interesting matchup. Now, I would kind of favor Conor McGregor, kind of, but I definitely might change my opinion if that fight does come to fruition. But I think Jake Paul can be competitive in that fight. And you're obviously going to get a significantly better striker, an MMA striker, and somebody who has at least one fight against one of the best boxers of all time in a boxing match. Yeah, I would love to see Conor McGregor next. That would be my choice. Dillon Danis, it's not my favorite matchup, but if Jake Paul wants to take his time and kind of slowly figure this game out, Dillon Danis would be a nice next matchup. And, you know, after that, say you get a Conor McGregor. You can beat Conor McGregor. Or even like a Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier would be a very interesting matchup as well. You know, Dustin's got some solid hands for an MMA fighter. And I think he would present a significant challenge. So, yeah, I say no to this Tommy Fury thing. I don't think it goes well if he takes that fight. I mean, he will get paid, no doubt about that, but I don't want to see him up against Tommy Fury next. I just stylistically and experience-wise, I think that's a tough one. Find Conor McGregor, man. I think that's the one you want to do next. And if you can't find another person to replace him, like a Dustin Poirier, wouldn't be a bad matchup, or fucking Dillon Danis. But yeah, man, look, ballsy move. If he does decide to take this fucking fight, props to him. I think he's really trying to make noise in this game of boxing. And if he can compete and just win, it doesn't have to be by KO, but if he can win this fucking fight against Tommy Fury, dude, he's a legit boxer. We're gonna have to start taking him serious. And it would be a huge fucking win. And if he finds a way to win, I want to hear people shut the fuck up about this whole boxing is staged, or they're staging these fights, because I don't see Tommy Fury as the type of guy who's going to fucking, you know, throw in the towel or take a dive for money. I don't see him doing that, especially coming from the type of family he comes from, with his father and the fucking Gypsy King. I don't see that at all. So yeah, big news, man. We'll see if the rumor holds true. I'm not particularly excited for Jake, but look, he is within the realm of competing with Tommy Fury. He's gonna have to, if he is gonna follow through with this fight, I would like to see him set this fight maybe to next year. And I'm being dead serious. Maybe to next year, man. Because by the time you get to next year, I think Jake Paul will be completely ready to take on Tommy Fury and be considered favored. You know, take your time, get some more experience, keep on fucking sparring, get some good legitimate partners to spar with, and then, you know, take that fight. But who knows, man? Who knows? This dude has proven to people that he's got something. He's got something going on. And you know, look, once again, I always state this. I'm not saying Jake Paul is going to be the next cruiserweight champion of the world. But he's got some skills, and he got some power in that right hand, and maybe even his left hand, his left hook. So there's something there. It's just a matter of if he's willing to nurture it and take the time to do so and pick his fights carefully. You know, people can say what they want. Oh, you pick and choose your opponent. Look, man, at the end of the day, there's still a huge financial aspect to it. And he's still very young in the game. Yes, he should be picking and choosing his opponents carefully. He should be. And then when he gets that experience, then he can graduate to top-notch contenders or better fighters, better boxers. But yeah, man, exciting. That's one to where now I'm going to be on the other side. I'm going to be questioning, man, is this dude, like, I don't know if he can do it this time. Just like a lot of people thought he was in danger with Ben Askren. I might start being on the other side of the argument, saying that Jake Paul's biting off a little bit more than he can chew. But give the guy props, man. He's got some balls. So imagine if he knocks Tommy Fury out, dude. Like, imagine if he actually knocks Tommy Fury out. The world will flip upside down, and Jake Paul will fucking be some serious shit to contend with.